Hi, my name's Karen. Perhaps you think I'm going to be a mom soon, but that's not the case. And my stomach keeps growing for a completely different reason. Want to know what happened to me? Watch this video to the end and you're going to find out. Don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. Well, it all started when I went to college. I moved out of my parents' house. I started living in a dorm. The college admission committee said the more active I was in the social, cultural, and sports life of the college, the more likely my scholarship would grow. I didn't want to freeload on my parents. I decided I would do my best to become financially independent. Well, I signed up for a college vocal studio, science and quiz club, volleyball, and a cheerleading team that supported the men's basketball team. From the very first month, my schedule was simply bursting. Well, I guess you already imagined how many events and activities I had. I got up early to prepare for classes. Then I studied. And then I went to the science club. We prepared speeches for the conferences there, and then I had trainings. It was a miracle that my trainings and extra classes didn't overlap. So I managed to keep up with everything. The group leader praised me for my active position. He even helped me to raise my scholarship to the maximum level. But I knew perfectly well it still wasn't enough. So I also started looking for a part-time job. There weren't many options for a student like me, with no education or working experience. But I still had to somehow work it into my college activities. Anyway, I ended up working nights at a fast food restaurant. Was I tired? No. I was damn exhausted. Perhaps my great desire to become financially independent was stronger. So I rarely allowed myself to relax and just lay in the bed scrolling Instagram or TikTok. But you know what was the most amazing thing? Even living such a crazy life, I managed to find a boyfriend. We started dating. I met Matt at the science club. He was 2 years older than me. So he was a mentor to a freshman like me. We immediately found a common language. We started seeing each other outside the science club. For example, sometimes we had lunch together, or we met each other during breaks. Knowing I barely had enough time to sleep and eat, Matt didn't dare ask me out for a long time. And it was understandable. You know, dating and romance takes time. In the end, Matt finally confessed his warm feelings to me and asked me out. I just couldn't say no. We only had one date because I was always busy. But we socialized, talked, and even kissed on campus. So, after a couple of weeks, I picked up my things and moved in with Matt. He had his own apartment, a car, and he was an amazing cook. He didn't ask for my attention 24/7. The perfect boyfriend, right? In the end, I gave up late shifts at the restaurant. I worked only in the evenings. My parents were aware of the things that were going on in my life, but I can't say they were very happy about it, especially with the fact I was already living with a guy at 17. Every time we talked on WhatsApp, my mom told me the same thing. I should just study and think about my future, and her biggest fear was that I would get pregnant. In this case, I would have to leave college and become a mom at 18. But Matt and I were definitely not planning on becoming parents. So we always made sure intimacy wouldn't have any, consequences. When the semester was about to end, we had exams, competitions, and conferences. I thought I was always living an overloaded life, but in December, all hell broke loose. I only slept for 2 to 3 hours at a time. Then I had to prepare for exams, or I would go to another city for volleyball competitions. It took me a while to realize something was wrong with my body. I only noticed it when I couldn't get into my cheerleading uniform before the Christmas basketball game. Normally, I wore a loose-fitting tracksuit during practice, so I didn't pay any attention to the fact I'd gained some weight. And I preferred wearing something oversized in my casual life, so I didn't see anything strange with my body. I was terrified. I didn't know what to do. Luckily, one of the girls lost some weight, so we exchanged outfits. I was able to perform. But of course, I wasn't okay with the fact my tummy was growing. It made me feel uneasy. I started paying attention to what I was eating. I thought I might not be following a proper diet and eating only fast food like burgers and fries, but Matt always cooked me a healthy meal at home, And when I was at college, I ate in the cafeteria. Then, why is my stomach growing so rapidly? And the cheerleader outfit was just the beginning. A week later, I couldn't fit into my favorite jeans, and this was already a serious reason to get worried. Besides, after checking my period schedule, I realized I had a delay. It's been 5 days already. Do I need to say what scary thoughts crept into my head? I immediately remembered my mom's words. Like at 17, I would become a mom and my life would be over. Like I said, Matt and I had always been very careful with our intimacy. But this is life, and different things may happen. I decided I would wait a little longer and buy a pregnancy test at the pharmacy. After a week, my situation didn't change. My period didn't start. My tummy continued to grow. In the end, I couldn't stand it anymore. I bought a pregnancy test at the pharmacy. The minutes I waited for the pregnancy results were the longest ones in my life. I already imagined telling Matt and my parents I was pregnant. Fortunately, all 4 tests showed negative results. I breathed a deep sigh of relief. On the one hand, I was very happy. On the other, what was wrong with my body? Why is my body acting like it's in the first months of pregnancy? I shared my concerns with Matt. Without thinking twice, he put me in the car and took me to meet his mom. Yeah, his behavior may seem strange to you. The thing is, Matt's mom was a very well-known doctor in the city. Matt decided she needed to see me right away. I told Mrs. Golden about my symptoms. Of course, she frowned and assumed I was pregnant. She didn't believe I had the negative test results. She ordered a thorough medical examination. Then she told me to come back in a few days. Later, Matt shared his mom had been scolding him for a long time on the phone about the fact he was going to become a daddy at such a young age. Why do all parents act the same? After a while, I found out almost everything in my wardrobe wouldn't fit me anymore. Even my favorite oversized hoodies. I didn't know what to do, so I started wearing Matt's hoodies. At volleyball practice, the coach suspended me, saying physical activity can be dangerous for a kid. I told her I wasn't pregnant, but she just patted me on the shoulder with an understanding look and went back to training. And if I thought it couldn't get any worse, I was wrong. Once my mom was in my city on a business trip. Of course, she wanted to see me for at least a few hours, like sit in a cafe and chat for a while. I hesitated for a long time about what I should wear to hide my tummy. I was sure my mom would definitely draw the wrong conclusions. In the end, I had to buy a dress. You won't believe it. I bought it in a Young Mama store. Okay. What could I do if there were only a few models that fit my shape? Fortunately, I arrived earlier than my mom. So, when she entered the cafe, I was already sitting at a table. She couldn't see my tummy. We had a nice chat. I paid for lunch, and then I got up to see my mother off. And I saw her surprised face. She stared at my tummy and didn't even blink. Hell, I'd forgotten all about it. She decided not to make a scene in the cafe. So, my mom started yelling at me when we were outside. She said she had warned me I was still too young to become a mom, and she started offering me some money to get rid of the problem. When she calmed down a little, I told her about all the tests and my visit to the doctor. I was sure she would chill out a bit, but for some reason, she needed more proof. I got it when I went back to see Matt's mom a week later. Anyway, my test showed I was not pregnant. But I had a terrible hormonal failure in my body due to constant stress and lack of normal sleep. Mrs. Golden said both a period disorder and the growing tummy were the results of a hormonal malfunction. I needed to take a course of pills to get back to normal, and I needed to carefully monitor my daily routine. So now I've reduced my workload to a minimum. I left only the science club and my volleyball team. I had to give up some other activities, but now I get enough sleep. I eat at a proper time, and I have enough time to rest. Do you follow your daily routine? Do you go to bed on time? Do you have enough time to rest? This is very important for your body. Know this. Write your comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Many stories are about to come. Turn on notifications so that you never miss new videos. Bye, everyone.